Hello, boys and girls. It's Miss Sublett from Houstonville Elementary, and I am here today to talk about our lesson 13 in the zones of regulation. I can't believe that we are already on lesson 13. But today is a very important lesson. It is a lesson that everyone needs to know. It is called the toolbox. So today we are going to learn what is a toolbox and what do we need it for and why do we use it. So I have a little PowerPoint here, and we are going to go over what is a toolbox when we are talking about zones of regulation. All right. Okay, so here is a set of regular tools that I'm sure you all have seen around your house or your home. And let's talk about regular tools for a minute. Why do we need a toolbox? In a sense of a regular old toolbox with regular tools. Why do we need one? Well, we need a toolbox to hold all of our tools, right? It's in one certain spot and we can find them whenever we need them. But what do we use the tools for? What do you use a regular hammer, wrench, saw, screwdriver? What do you use those things for? Well, we use these tools to help us fix things, right? Or to build something new, to either fix or build something new. That's why we use regular tools. Why do you think in our toolbox we need more than just one tool? We need a variety of tools. If we only had a hammer, could we saw a 2x4 with a hammer? No, I don't think that's going to work. You probably might be able to beat it until it breaks, but that would be a lot of hard work. So we need a variety of tools in our toolbox to help us fix whatever it needs fixing and to help us build whatever needs building. And we need a lot more than just one. So now let's talk about our emotional toolbox that we all need to have. And this toolbox is something that we keep in our head. It's not a physical toolbox, although you could make a physical toolbox with little things in it, maybe like a stress ball or something like that. But this is going to be our emotional toolbox that we know will help us move through the zones when we need to. So let's get started. First, last week, you all learned about different techniques that will help you calm down, or that will help lift you up if you're in the blue zone, or that will help you calm down if you're in the red or yellow zone to get back to green. So the first thing Miss Johnson talked about was breathing. Do you all remember some of the techniques she taught you? The first one was called six-sided breathing. And that was a six-sided shape, if you remember. And it went breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And I think it's very important that you use your finger to trace the shape, the six-sided shape, because it helps you to focus on something and it helps you to remember how to breathe. And that will help you to calm your body and tell your brain that it's okay, it's safe, okay? And that's a very good, the six-sided breathing technique is a very good technique. And the second breathing technique that Miss Johnson shared with you was called lazy eight breathing. Now, this one I have trouble with. I don't know why. It's just hard for me to breathe and do the motion at the same time, but let's try it together. Okay, so you start with a focal point, and the picture she showed you last week was a star in the middle of the eight. So, but you can do anything. You can use anything. You can use a circle, you can use a square, anything like that. But again, we're going to use our finger and we're going to try the lazy eight breathing together. So you'll want to go in through your nose, out through your mouth. Then you come back to your focal point. So let's do that again. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You come back to your focal point. So good job. I think I did pretty good that time. But the breathing is very important, guys. Breathing helps you tell your brain that it's not in trouble, that nobody's hurting you, and that you're safe. So breathing helps you literally tell your brain to calm down, brain. I'm okay. So it's very important. Let's move on to our next tool. Our next tool is calming techniques, okay? Calming your body. What are some things that you can do physically with your body to calm it down? So the calming technique that Miss Johnson taught you all last week was called calming sequence. And this had 4 steps to it. And it is a really good, kind of like a good distraction for your brain if it's busy thinking about things that upset you. It's a good way to distract your brain to help you to calm your body. So the first thing you do is you squeeze your hands, okay? And depending on how upset you are, you may need to squeeze real hard, or you may just need to just put them together and just give yourself like a little hand hug. Okay, I like that, a hand hug. Just give yourself a little hand hug, okay? So you'll squeeze your hands, close your eyes, you rub your head, okay, and then you pat your legs. So hand hug, eyes closed, rub head, pat legs. Okay, and you want to do that several times to distract your brain from being upset. And that is just a really good way to help calm your body down. And then the next thing is something that I learned. It's just something new. You might have heard this before, or you may not have, but it's a good calming technique if you're sitting in the middle of class and you can't do anything. Um, you can just breathe and you can do this. So it's called the push, pull, dangle. So if you're sitting in your seat in class, you want to take your arms, okay, put them down on the seat of your chair, and you want to push down as hard as you can, okay? Because if you're sitting in class and you're going like this, the teacher might think, this student is very mad, and they might send you to the principal or something. I don't know, but we don't want that to happen. So this is something you can just do sitting in class and nobody will even know what you're doing. So you'll push down on your seat as hard as you can, and then you'll pull up on your seat, all right? And then you'll just relax your body and dangle your feet in your chair, okay? Push, pull, dangle. Push down, and maybe you can do some counting, which we're going to talk about next. You can push down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push up, 1, 2, and then dangle your feet. Just relax your body and dangle your feet, and you'll feel more relaxed, okay? It kind of is taking the energy, just like with the calming sequence, it's taking the energy out of your body and putting it in an object, which is your chair, okay? All right, so Our next tool that should be in everyone's toolbox is counting. Okay. Um, this is just an easy one because you can do this at any time. Just count in your head, or if you're by yourself or with your counselor or something, you can count out loud if you want, whatever makes you comfortable. But you can count if you're very upset and you're trying to get back down to the green zone. Just take a deep breath and count to 10. All right. And this is really good too for making rash decisions. And that just means like maybe a friend called you a bad name and your first reaction is to call them something mean back. Before you do that, count to 10. Okay. Maybe someone like purposely bumps you really hard and your first reaction is to go and push them back. But before you make any decisions like that, try counting, okay? Because at that point, you're in the red zone. And when you're trying to make decisions in the red zone, they usually don't turn out very good. So you want to make decisions when you're in the green zone, all right? So counting will help your brain to get back down a little before you make that bad decision, okay? And help you make decisions, better decisions. So we need to keep counting in our toolbox as well. All right. And our last tool is for whatever works for you. Okay. You have to figure out what helps you. Okay. Now, these are just a few things that helps you. We know that breathing helps. Okay. Counselors know breathing helps. You need to have that in your toolbox. Um, um, Calming sequences help. Okay, we know that. Keep that in your toolbox. And then we also know that counting helps. All right. So you need to have those three things in your toolbox, but you need to come up with things that help you. All right. Everyone is different. Not everything helps everybody. Okay, so these are just a few things I put on here that you can think about. Music is one of them. Now, when you're at school, you can't have your phone out, you can't play music. But if you're at home and you're mad at a parent or a guardian or a brother or sister or somebody, getting out your music and listening to it could help you. Okay. Taking a walk, being out in nature, that helps, guys. Being out in nature helps you because your brain is busy looking at the scenery, listening to the birds, smelling outside smells. Okay. So it helps you to calm down. Fidgets. Miss Sublett actually keeps a fidget because it helps me. Let me show you what I use. It don't have to be anything fancy. This is what I use. Um, this is just a clip, okay? And usually what I do is I keep it right on my lanyard like that. And if I am somewhere and I'm feeling anxious or nervous or just my brain is busy and I need something to channel my energy, I get out this little clip and I play with it. Okay. This is what I like to do, back and forth like this. But whoops, I also clip it. Sometimes I'll take and I'll clip it on my fingers like that. And I just play with it. You don't have to have a big, fancy, expensive fidget. Just something that helps you to channel your frustration or your anxiety, or maybe you're just a busy person and this helps you to be able to pay attention in class a little bit better. And then, of course, exercise. It is a known fact that exercise will help you to feel better. Okay. And this doesn't have to be going to the gym, like a big fancy gym and running on the treadmill or lifting weights. Exercise can be playing basketball outside or kicking the soccer ball around or just playing outside in general. Okay. So any kind of exercise is good exercise. But basically, you need to find out what works for you. And you need to make your own toolbox, okay? You need to figure it out. And as you grow and get older, you will learn what helps you the most. And you will put that in your emotional toolbox, and you will be able to help yourself to calm down. Um, but just start working on that, okay, guys? Start figuring out what helps you. And that's the best thing that you can do to help move through the zones, okay? If you're in the red, figure out what helps you move back down to the green, okay? Or maybe you're in the blue because you're sad. Figure out what helps you to feel better or what wakes you up in the morning because you're sleepy. Figure those things out and keep them in your emotional toolbox. Okay, guys? Well, thank you so much for listening to our lesson. And I hope that it helps. If you have any questions or have any ideas or concerns or just want to talk, reach out to your school counselors. Okay, guys? I know we're virtual right now, but we are still here for you. Thank you for listening. Have a good rest of your day.